Hello and welcome to SCANS eCampus. SCANS eCampus is a gold-approved learning partner of ACCA. On this channel, we bring you demo videos of different courses available at SCANS eCampus. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel to get notifications of additional videos and hit the like button.
Now let's talk about leadership and the effect on culture. So the question arises, does leader affect the culture of an organization? So in most of the cases, the leaders can actually have a very material influence on the culture of an organization. So that's the first thing. Now in the exam, the examiner can actually ask you to evaluate the current culture of an organization and how, for example, the leadership or the new leadership can affect the culture of an organization. So exam question can vary according to the scenario, but the topic we are going to cover here under the heading leadership and culture is the culture web. Culture web is basically a model which helps to evaluate or analyze the culture of a given organization, and in the SBL context, the culture of the organization presented in the integrated case study. So in order to understand the existing culture and its effect, it is important to be able to analyze an organizational culture, and culture web basically is a mean of doing this. So culture web is a model which considers 7 different factors which will help us to understand an organizational culture. So starting with the first point of the culture web, this model covers rituals and routines. But before I start with rituals and routine, the culture itself means the way the things are done in an organization, right? Now the first heading of this model is rituals and routines. Now rituals and routines simply means the tasks or the activities which are performed periodically. For example, a monthly meeting. Now, rituals and routines cover both business as well as non-business activities. So from the given question, we'll have to extract the routines of the organization, which are both business and non-business. So an example of business activity can be, again, a monthly meeting. An example of a non-business activity can be an annual dinner for the employees. So this includes daily behaviors, etc. The second heading is the symbols. So in an organizational culture, there are symbols which symbolizes the position of an individual. Now these symbols can be verbal or visual. For example, the verbal symbols can be the language or special privilege titles used for different people. The visual symbols can be the logos, expensive cars. The people have special dining rooms, for example, for board of directors, personal assistant for a particular director, etc. So symbols actually symbolizes the position of an individual or a group, and that indicates that this individual or that group with a certain position, they can actually influence the culture of an organization as well. The third heading from Culture Web is the control systems. Now this is not the discussion on internal control systems of an organization. Control system here simply means that what is the system to control the performance of employees? Is there a system of punishment in the organization or the system of reward? So if there's a question on Culture Web, you have to read the entire scenario and then you have to find out whether there's a culture of punishment or rewards. And then you also have to highlight, for example, the different rewards that are being offered to the employees, or if there are any punishments. The fourth of the Culture Web variables is the organizational structure. So in this heading, you just generally highlight that what the structure of the organization is, again, which is given in the scenario. So whether the culture is formal or informal. So if you think it is formal, what are the reasons for that? If you think the culture is informal, why do you think so? So you have to give the reasons from the scenario in order to explain your points, right? Then you can comment on whether the culture structure is tall or flat, centralized or decentralized. But of course, naturally, the culture being formal or informal is the most important factor for this heading. Then comes defining the power culture, and power culture means to define who is the most important or influential position in the organization. Now, this can be an individual or this can be a group. So, for example, the group means the board of directors of the organization, and in simple businesses, family businesses, it can be an individual too. Stories is the sixth heading of this model, and stories basically highlight the background, the beliefs of the organization. And then in order to answer the exam question conveniently, you need to remember that stories include the organization believes about different stakeholders. For example, what an organization think of its customers, supplier, regulatory authorities, etc. And it also covers the belief of stakeholders about the organization. Now we'll have to see whether this information is given in the question or not. Do we have to take certain assumptions while writing the answer? The last of the heading of Culture Web is paradigm. Paradigm is actually the overall beliefs of the organization and how they affect the culture. Basically, the paradigm reinforces the other elements, all 6 of them, of Culture Web. So paradigm can be defined as overall conclusion of all the above points, all 6 of them, right? Starting from rituals and routines till stories. So there's this question in specimen 3 of SBL given by ACCA examining team, where there was an analysis required of the current and future culture of an organization because certain changes were taking place, and the standard answer uses this model Culture Web to analyze and answer the question. Let's talk about leadership and change management. So change management again is a detailed topic which we are going to cover in the innovation and performance excellence part of the syllabus. But for now, just to connect it to leadership a little bit, the leaders will also need to manage the change that is likely to happen due to new strategies, right? So leaders can take many different forms, or leaders can actually choose to behave in certain different ways when they are managing the change. So they can take the form of transactional leaders or transformational leaders. You don't necessarily need to learn these jargons, but I thought it is a good idea that you know about these 2 types of leaders, especially in the context of change management. So transactional leaders, also sometimes called as instrumental leaders, they basically seek to improve the current situation rather than change. So they focus on system and controls. So they seek improvement rather than change, and they focus on systems and controls. So how particular systems should be followed and what are the inbuilt controls in it. And then comes the transformational leaders or charismatic leaders. So they basically build a vision of future, energize people, and manage the change. So transformational leaders are very different from transactional leaders. They basically concentrate on a long-term vision and on re-engineering and changing the organization fundamentally and motivating the people, and bringing the change and motivating people with whom they are working with. So they build a situation or a climate of trust and empowerment and believes in the change culture. So I can define transformational leaders very simply by saying that they are very enthusiastic for themselves, for the organization and the people they're working with. right? So this concludes our discussion on the overall idea of leadership for an SPL exam.
If you like this video, visit our website www.scansecampus.com to purchase the complete course at affordable prices. Register today at no cost and access our free 10-day trial.